Today we're using AI-assisted research to dive into.
So, let's talk about January. It's that time of year, everyone's celebrating, it's a fresh start, and the advice is usually, hey, relax, have some fun. But what if that's actually a trap? What if the very comfort you're chasing right now is setting you up for a much harder tomorrow?
Think about that. That idea just completely flips the script on how we look at work and rest, doesn't it? It's basically saying that all that immediate gratification, that easy comfort, could be the very thing that wrecks our future. So the big question is, why do we keep falling for it?
Yeah, why do we waste our January? And I'm not just talking about the month. I'm talking about any crucial period of new beginnings, especially those first few years of our adult lives. Well, the answer, believe it or not, comes from a really simple, timeless story. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to look at the classic parable of the ant and the butterfly. It might sound like a kid's story, but trust me, it perfectly captures the two completely different paths we can choose in life.
So, I want you to picture this scene. There's this tiny little ant, right? And it's struggling, really struggling, to carry this huge piece of bread back home. It's just pure hard work. And then, out of nowhere, this gorgeous, colorful butterfly just kind of flutters down. It sees the ant grinding away, and, well, the butterfly is the complete opposite. It's totally carefree, just living in the moment. And this is where you see their two philosophies just clash. They could not be more different. The butterfly basically laughs and says, dude, why are you working so hard? Life's for enjoyment. You gotta live in the moment. But the ant has a totally different strategy. It thinks, okay, I'm gonna work my tail off for these 4 months so that I can kick back and live comfortably for the next 8. And there it is. That's the core conflict, right? Instant pleasure versus long-term security. So the butterfly just flits away. And the ant just keeps on working. But as we all know, things don't stay the same forever. The seasons change, and the choices each of them made, they're about to have some very, very real and very different consequences. And just like that, 4 months fly by. Those sunny, easy days are gone. And in their place, heavy, relentless rain. The whole world looks different. The time for playing around is officially over. Now, it's all about survival. And here's where we see the results of their choices play out. The ant, it's totally safe and sound inside its strong, cozy home, which is packed with food. It's literally enjoying the fruits of its labor. But the butterfly, the one who only lived for the moment, it's out in the storm, soaked, shivering from the cold, and absolutely starving. No shelter, no food, nothing. So that poor shivering butterfly ends up at the ant's door, totally ashamed. And in that one moment, it hits her, this painful realization. The trouble she's in, it isn't because of some far-off tomorrow that she couldn't predict. No, it was her own negligence, her choices from yesterday that created the awful situation she's in today. Now, obviously, this is way more than just a little story for kids, right? It's a powerful metaphor for our own lives. So the real question becomes, how do we take this lesson and apply it to our January? All right, here's the big idea. Let's call it the 20 to 25 rule. Think about it. That 5-year window from age 20 to 25, that is the January of your entire life. And what the source material argues is that the choices you make right then, in that super critical period, are going to basically decide the whole trajectory of the rest of your life. Just look at this breakdown. It is incredibly black and white. If you spend those 5 years just chasing fun, only looking for that instant gratification, being the butterfly, you are pretty much setting yourself up for the next 40 years of struggle. But if you spend those 5 years with real dedication, working hard on your goals, being the ant, you earn yourself 40 years of comfort and genuine enjoyment. Just let that sink in for a second. We're talking about just 5 years. That's it. It's like a short sprint in the huge marathon of your life. Yeah, it's going to be a period of intense preparation. It's going to require some sacrifice, but when you look at the big picture, the investment is actually pretty small. And this is the payoff. 40 years. That's 8 times the length of your initial hard work. We're talking about an incredible return on investment for using your January the right way. The contrast between 5 years of grinding it out and 40 years of freedom, it's absolutely staggering. Okay, so to make that 5-year investment happen, you need
one thing more than
इस
anything
वीडियो में
else.
रिसर्च
One
और नरेशन
crucial
के लिए
resource.
AI
And it's not
असिस्टेड
money,
टूल्स का
it's not even
इस्तेमाल
just
किया गया
energy.
है।
The most priceless thing you have is your time.
The source material actually has a perfect analogy for this. I want you to think of your life like it's a farmer's field. Your youth, that January period, that's the planting season. If you waste that time just sleeping in or, enjoying the nice weather, well, when the harvest season comes, when you really need something, you'll have nothing to show for it.
And this really gets to the core paradox of time, doesn't it? On one hand, it's totally free. We all get the same 24 hours in a day no matter who we are. But on the other hand, it's completely priceless. You could have all the money in the world, and you still couldn't buy back a single second that you've lost. Once a moment's gone, it is gone forever.
So this brings us to a really important question, something you gotta ask yourself. What are the butterfly habits in your life? Seriously, what's holding you back from getting out there and planting your seeds? Just figuring that out, just identifying those things, that's the absolute first step to becoming the ant and actually building the future you want. And let's wrap this up with this really powerful piece of advice. Look, the journey of the ant, it's not easy. It's going to take patience while you're putting in the hard work, and it's going to take gratitude for the opportunity you even have to build something. So please, don't waste your January. Use it. Use it to build a future where you can actually thrive. Be patient, be grateful, and start moving forward today.
This video uses AI-assisted tools for research and narration.